Whale shark watching has been one of the Philippines' top tourist attractions. Now, these gentle giants, the largest fish in the sea, can be found most famously in Donsol, Sorsogon. Other populations now frequent waters off Cebu, Bohol, Leyte, and Palawan. But in Bohol, the provincial government has stopped all whale shark interaction activities in the towns of Albuquerque, Dawis, and Lila. The reason? Violations of marine life tourism regulations. In an EO, Bohol Governor Atty Aumentado said that while whale shark watching in those towns were sanctioned by respective LGUs, they have no clearance from the DENR. An interagency team also found that such activities involve using krill to lure the whale sharks or butanding, which is illegal. The activities in the three towns, Albuquerque, Dawis, and Lila, will remain suspended until all requirements are met following a comprehensive industry-wide consultation.
Here to talk to us about the Bohol LGU's decision, we have Bohol Provincial Officer Atty. Handel Lagunay. Attorney, good evening and welcome to The Big Story. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you okay. Good evening to all of you, ladies. Thank you for having me.
Okay. Attorney, first of all, I'm sure you've gotten mixed reactions. I'm sure the environmentalists and the marine biologists are extremely happy, but I'm sure the tour operators are not so happy about this decision. But can you tell us what made you guys change your mind and finally put your foot down against feeding?
Yes, it's the effect on the environment really that sort of the final straw that broke the camel's back. Because by feeding krill, it created foul odor on the sea waters. And this feeding area, this Lila, Albuquerque, and Dawis, especially Dawis, is within Panglao Island. And Panglao Island is our main draw for beautiful beaches. And not far away is Balikasag Island. If this whale shark interaction activity will continue and the feeding continues, so this will have an adverse effect on our entire tourism industry. So it's really balancing. It's a choice between giving in to the business interest of these operators as regards the entire tourism industry of Bohol, wherein thousands of Boholanos are dependent.
Yun nga
So
eh.
we just don't want to do some damage on our tourism industry. Aside from, these are clear violations of marine wildlife interaction guidelines.
Okay, Attorney, how do those affected by this memo that you guys put out, yung mga bankero, yung mga nagpapakain, ano yung sentimento nila and will they really be out of business? Did you guys plan before putting out the memo, like what's going to happen to them or give them perhaps an alternative? Because I understand that butanding is such a big draw because they are magnificent creatures.
Yes. Before Governor Aris Aumentado issued the EO, he met with representatives from the Department of Labor and Employment here and also with the Social Welfare Office to prepare for some financial package for these affected workers in the whale shark watching industry. So they will be given some assistance to tide them off to the next season. But even before this whale shark watching came in, they have some livelihood. No, this is an added income for them. Of course, some of them may have relied entirely for this, but if after an industry-wide consultation with the conservationists, environmentalists, marine scientists, and biologists, if this can really be resumed, the whale shark watching operation and interaction, then they will have their livelihood back in this respect.
But first, help us understand, Attorney, what the problem is with using krill. Krill, as I understand it, is the small shrimp-like creatures. You mentioned foul.
Yes.
You mentioned foul odor, but what other problems are there with using krill?
Well, krill, no? They're like small shrimps, like bagoong, kumbaga. And they source this from Mindanao. And sometimes these are not fresh anymore. So that's why when you put them in the water to feed the whale sharks, the more they feed, so that the longer the whale shark will stay, there are some krill that are left in the water, and that's why they emit foul odor.
Pero yun lang so far, attorney. It's the foul odor, and
Yeah,
are they acquired?
yes, and aside from that, according to our marine scientists, it's not really good to feed the whale sharks because it will disrupt their migratory path and their behavior. Instead of proceeding to their next place to go, because they have a path to follow, they stay in one place. And also, by just feeding krill, it also disrupts their nutrition. So instead of enjoying a variety of food to give them the various nutrients, it's just plain krill. So there's an imbalance in their diet. That's what the scientists say.
Attorney, is this a permanent ban that you're enforcing, or are you looking to change behavior to improve the protocols when it comes to treating the butanding? Meron po ba kayong ganon? And do you also have data on how many whale sharks are present in the area? Have they decreased because of these activities?
Well, for now, the order of the governor is immediate cessation, immediate stoppage. But whale shark watching and interaction is not really unlawful per se, because it can be allowed so long as the guidelines under the provincial ordinance and the joint memorandum circular can be followed. And that includes strictly no feeding and observing the proper distance when interacting with the gentle giants.
Right. I'm not sure if you can see, attorney, that we're actually airing a video that would be very disturbing, I think, for marine scientists, because there seems to be an enclosure and somebody keeps throwing and throwing krill.
Parang nasa
People
cage,
are,
no?
yeah, tsaka parang malapit yung mga tao. And I'm saying this because I have done the whale watching over at, not to compare, but in Donsol, Sorsogon, in the bay there, they do it properly. They make you sit through a briefing. And then the watchers themselves, sometimes if you're unlucky, you can stay there a week and actually not get an interaction if they are naturally absent during that time, right? Is there any kind of plan in the future to kind of enforce these same standards when it comes to butanding watching?
Yes, precisely. Yeah, what we are seeing there, they are making bubbles, making noise to attract the butanding, which is one of the acts expressly prohibited under the ordinance and the joint memorandum circular. So there has to be proper training and proper imposition of the guidelines so that if ever in the future, whale shark watching can resume in Bohol.
Attorney, can you help us understand how big this industry is? How many businesses are affected by the EO of the government?
Yes. By the way, we don't have a data how many whale sharks these are, no? But they are the same group of whale sharks that goes from Lila to Albuquerque and Dawis. I think it's a big industry because in one town, accordingly, they earned around 26 million pesos in 1 year. And that town really, out from their share from the whale shark watching business, was able to provide social services to the people. So it's really a big industry. It's gaining, and some barangays, some towns are even contemplating to have their own whale shark watching. It's starting to get out of control. So the governor has to put his foot down, and he mentioned enough is enough. We can't have more than 3 towns having whale shark watching, and so he ordered to put a stop, aside from the fact that they are violating the guidelines on the interaction.
Are you worried that the province might lose tourists because of this? I mean, already the country is having trouble hitting its tourism target, right? And Bohol is one of the biggest draws. So with this ban, of course, people are that's going to discourage some people. What's the provincial government thinking?
Yeah, so we're really thinking about the sustainability of our tourism. Presently, the whale shark watching is making a huge draw, but because of the feeding that they are doing, it would cause adverse effects in the long run, and that adverse effect would destroy our tourism industry, and we don't want that to happen.
Okay.